It's a busy Saturday morning at a Walmart Supercenter, with families shopping for back-to-school supplies. A 21-year-old man moves quietly through the aisles. At that moment, there is nothing to distinguish him from any other customer. He leaves the store without buying anything. Minutes later, he returns. This time, he is armed. In just minutes, 23 people lose their lives. Within hours, the gunman is in custody. And what investigators uncover next makes clear this was not a spontaneous act of violence.
They have an intention of shooting a particular group of people.
Yeah, I guess I was bullied in high school by Mexican. I mean, Mexicans look different.
The morning unfolds like any other. Families move through the aisles, picking up school supplies. At 9 a.m., a man walks inside. He moves through the aisles slowly, cosmetics, auto, paint, until it is obvious. He isn't shopping. He is scanning. He leaves empty-handed. Minutes later, he returns. Around 9:13 a.m., a woman approaches him, asking for his help. Though she speaks Spanish, she manages to get her message across. The 6-foot-tall young man helps her reach something from the top shelf. The woman leaves, touched by a stranger's kindness, while the man goes back to leaning against the display. But this is no ordinary act of kindness. The young man in the black t-shirt is 21-year-old Patrick Crusius. Right now, he is typing a long manifesto titled Hispanic Invasion of Texas, which he is trying to post on 4chan, a popular website among the youth, particularly because the content is unmonitored. Eventually, he buys a bag of oranges, but stops near the exit. He is carefully scouting the area. Then he returns to his car. For nearly an hour, he sits, moving his vehicle several times before deciding on a spot near the exit. It is the calm before the storm. He opens the trunk and removes an AK-47 style rifle. Seconds later, gunfire erupts in the parking lot, and the ordinary Saturday morning ends. People scatter. He moves toward the entrance. Inside the store, customers run through the aisles. Others hide behind shelves and cash registers. Some lie on the floor, remaining still.
Impact units, investigating units, please make it to the west side of Walmart, please.
Employees rush shoppers toward emergency exits. Others barricade themselves inside storage rooms and locked break areas.
Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Everybody hands up! Hands up! Hands up! Go!
The gunman keeps walking. He turns corners, scans, and fires again. There is no warning, no pattern, no safe aisle. The shooting inside lasts approximately 3 minutes. 23 people lose their lives. 26 are injured. After exiting the store, he fires at a passing vehicle, killing a 77-year-old man and injuring his wife. He drives to a nearby intersection as he hears sirens in the distance. Around 11 a.m., Patrick Crusius surrenders to a Texas Ranger. He tells the Ranger he called 911 to turn himself in, but in his words, nobody answered. His cold, disconnected manner is the first warning sign. Something is very wrong with Patrick Crusius. The ordeal is over, but given the nature of the crime, police need to know whether this is a part of a broader threat or an isolated attack. Patrick is brought in for questioning.
Okay, Patrick, where do you reside at?
Reside?
Yes.
I just bounce around between my parents, my grandma's, and my...
Is that here in El Paso, Texas? Where is that?
It's in Dallas.
Just hours after the shooting, Patrick appears calm during questioning, a stark contrast to the violence earlier that day.
We want to know what happened today.
I don't know. It's a long story, man. I mean, I just have violent thoughts, and
Okay.
I've been battling them for a long time.
Are you under any...
Yesterday, I mean, I didn't think I'd actually do it, but you know, yesterday I started having like really violent thoughts, and the next day I just drove and did it.
Investigators focus on one central question. Why? Why El Paso? Crusius lives with his grandparents in Allen, Texas, roughly a 9-hour drive away.
I couldn't sleep at midnight, so I just left and then I did it.
Patrick tells detectives he had been seeing a therapist. He describes feeling increasingly angry in the months leading up to the attack. In the days before the shooting, he began giving away most of his belongings, a quiet, deliberate step that signaled finality. Then he started preparing in earnest. First, he purchased ammunition in bulk. Only afterward did he buy the rifle.
And how long ago did you purchase it?
Maybe like a month or two. I mean, I've wanted a gun for a long time. So I bought the ammo like a long time before I got the gun.
The detectives run the timeline again.
I didn't want to do it anywhere near Dallas because it's like I don't want to traumatize my parents.
Okay. So you get to El Paso now, correct? Sometime this morning. What do you do here in El Paso?
I just drove around and then I went to the Walmart. And I don't honestly remember much besides the shooting. I just Googled it on Google Maps.
Okay.
I don't know, it's a blur. I mean, I know I did it. I mean, I don't know what else matters.
Okay.
In the hours before the shooting, his brother and sister were texting him repeatedly, asking where he was, asking why he wasn't responding. Nothing could have prepared them for his drastic actions. They had no idea he was 9 hours away, sitting in a Walmart parking lot with a rifle in his trunk. What Patrick says next takes the detective by surprise.
I tried to call, but no one. I called the police station on my phone, but no one picked up.
You were calling 911?
Yeah, to turn myself in, but no one picked up.
Okay.
I mean, it just went this English and Spanish thing over and over again.
Okay.
The detectives don't immediately catch it, but when Patrick explains why he ended the 911 call so quickly, he mentions that the operator was speaking Spanish. It's a small detail, delivered almost casually. Then he goes further. He then makes clear who he intended to target.
You have an intention of shooting a particular group of people? What I mean is whites, Mexicans,
Yeah.
blacks, anything like
Yeah.
that?
I guess I was bullied in high school by Mexicans, so.
So your intent was to shoot Mexicans?
Yeah, I mean.
So you're saying your intention was to shoot Mexicans because you were bullied in high school by Mexicans?
I mean, I rationalized it in a different way, but you know what I'm saying? But I didn't. That's really what it was. In reality, I guess I just have an issue with them. I don't know.
Okay.
Detectives determine that bullying alone does not explain the attack. During questioning, Crusius expands on his views.
So it's fair to say you don't like Mexicans?
But did I tell you? I posted that thing online.
No. What did you post?
The like an explanation of why I did it.
Okay. What did you post it under?
I just posted it on like 4chan or something.
On what?
The attack didn't begin in the parking lot. It began online. Approximately 20 minutes before the shooting, Patrick uploaded a document on an image-based meme site known as 4chan. In it, he references the conspiracy theory commonly known as the Great Replacement, which claims that white populations are being replaced by immigrants. He describes what he calls a Hispanic invasion of Texas. He frames his actions as defensive. Later on in the post, he references the rifle he owns and discusses its use in the attack. This is not a spontaneous act. It's premeditated.
Because I thought I was gonna die, so
Okay.
I thought there'd be arms set. I don't know. I thought there'd be somebody shooting back. So
Okay.
I mean, I also have like a in my car. So
Considering Patrick's stated views, detectives need to determine whether anyone else was involved.
This is very important, okay, Patrick? Are you alone in this?
yes,
Or is there multiple people? Is there a group of you that said we're gonna do this? Or hit certain areas in El Paso?
I mean, I just didn't want people thinking I was a white supremacist. That's why I posted it. Really.
Okay.
I guess it's not a manifesto. I guess it's technically a manifesto.
Okay.
I just didn't want someone misinterpreting it.
Crusius tells investigators he acted alone. He also denies being a white supremacist. However, in both the interview and his online writing, he expresses opposition to racial integration and advocates for territorial separation by ethnicity. His next words reveal another possible motive for the shooting.
I used to have a job.
Where'd you used to work at?
Cinemark. And then
Cinemark, the theater? back in Allen or Plano or in Allen?
But then that, I quit there. And then, for a while, before they kicked me out, my grandparents gave me a little bit of money.
Okay.
That was like a couple of months ago, and they stopped giving it to me. So I wasn't really going anywhere,
Are your grandparents retired? And your pops, what does he do?
My dad,
Your dad?
it's complicated. He's a counselor, I guess.
Okay. Like for a school district or private or what?
Private.
Private? Okay.
Well, I don't know what you call a psychiatrist, maybe.
Okay.
Patrick is the son of a licensed therapist and a nurse. By contrast, his own path had been less certain. A job at a Cinemark theater serving concessions, and a short-lived attempt at college. Suddenly, it's all very clear to the officers. Unable to cope with his failures, Patrick has found someone to blame, and that blame has led to gruesome consequences.
So again, it was just strictly, your target was Mexicans. Okay. And your reasoning for Mexicans is because you said you were bullied by them.
I mean, that's the real reason. I rationalize in different ways. That sounds pathetic to say that's really why I killed a bunch of people, but yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I mean, Mexicans look different. You can't really tell someone's Mexican, unless you talk to them.
When the detectives ask him why he drove away from the Walmart, Patrick surprises them with some humanity.
I mean, I just had to get away. They're so nasty.
He doesn't come across as triumphant. If anything, he sounds detached. Detectives pick up on it and begin pressing him about his state of mind during the shooting.
Did anybody confront you or say anything to you? Do you recall?
I mean, I don't think anyone would approach me with a gun.
Well, yeah, but I'm just, maybe a security guard. Did anybody sit there and say, hey, what do you...
Like I said, I don't think anyone shot at me or anything. I thought it was going to get gunned down, but...
Okay.
And then I'm when I ran away, but I'm too much of a coward.
As he describes what happened, his memory narrows. He recalls his own movements, where he walked, when he reloaded, but struggles to describe the people he shot. The details blur. As he discusses the shooting, his leg begins to shake. It's subtle at first, then constant. When the conversation shifts to how close he came to taking his own life, the nervous movement gets worse.
Okay. Did you see people falling?
I don't know if this is right, but I think they were already on the ground.
Okay. Did you have to reload?
I don't know, maybe.
Okay.
I mean, the mags are there, you can check. I filled them all up.
You filled them all up?
Yeah, I didn't know how much I would need, so.
Do you know how many go in a mag?
Those 30.
30?
Yeah.
Okay. How many mags did you have with you?
Like 4 or 5.
4 or 5?
Yeah.
And you don't know how many you used? Okay.
No idea.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think I fired anyone standing up.
Despite the level of planning, Patrick cannot say how many people he targeted. He doesn't remember their faces. He recalls movement, reloading, positioning, but not the individuals. He's unsure how much ammunition he used. One detail stands out though. He says most of the people he shot were already on the ground. As he speaks, detectives place a printed copy of his online post in front of him. His focus shifts immediately, not to the victims or the aftermath, but to the document.
I'm going to hand you this, and I want to see if this is what we're referring to as far as your manifesto, if that's the one you posted.
Oh yeah, that one. Yep.
Is that the only one?
Yep. Seems a little shorter, but it was 4 full pages. No, it's just the format.
Is this it?
Yeah, it's just the format's
Okay.
off, which is why I thought it was.
But I'm just saying, this is what you posted?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
He studies the printed pages carefully. His first concern isn't the content, it's the length. He seems worried that the full version was not posted. The conversation moves back to the shooting, and what he reveals next reframes everything the detectives thought they understood.
How much ammo would you say you brought with you?
You know, I bought like 1,000 rounds in bulk, so
1,000 rounds in bulk?
yeah.
Did you bring all 1,000 rounds, or had you used other rounds
Yeah, I
previously?
just kept them. I always keep them in my car.
Trying to keep his aggression under control has been a losing battle for Patrick.
I mean, I've had violent thoughts ever since I was little.
Okay. What kind of violent thoughts?
I mean, I just kill stuff, and it was pretty innocent. You know,
Like, what would you kill?
I used to have a little pump gun, and I'd just go out and kill a bunch of squirrels and stuff. I mean, just animals, you know, like that.
Okay.
Never hurt anyone. So no.
Okay.
Detectives are once again compelled to ask, why this particular Walmart? And why El Paso? His reason shocks them.
You know, I know it traumatized my parents. I can't do it, you know, in San Antonio, it traumatized my brother and his girlfriend. I don't know.
Acquaintances? Anybody you know here?
That's why I picked it. It was far away, and I don't know anyone here.
Okay.
Just don't know anyone.
For someone who has taken so many innocent lives, he is surprisingly compassionate about hurting his loved ones or traumatizing them.
Now, if you wouldn't have chosen a Walmart here in El Paso, where else do you think you might have gone here in this area?
To do the thing,
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't really have a plan.
Okay.
Did anyone send you to do this? Instruct you to do this?
I mean, I guess part of me wanted, you know, wanted to mean something, so.
So far, everything Patrick has said has lined up with a possible lapse in sanity, but his next words would reveal possible planning and premeditation.
Figured I'd die in the, you know, someone would gun me down, but I guess no one in there had guns.
Did you have this manifest already written out, where you just had to hit send?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I wrote it out, like, I finished writing it out, like, maybe like a week ago or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So you're saying about a week ago you knew that this was gonna happen soon?
I mean, it was in the back of my mind, you know, I wasn't sure if I was actually gonna do it.
You wanted people to know that you're not a white supremacist?
Yeah, and I just figured the media would call me white supremacist.
For nearly 50 minutes, detectives have been working to understand his motive and whether anyone else was involved. In the final portion of the interview, a clearer explanation emerges.
We saw some surveillance footage, okay, of the incident. You're wearing some earmuffs or ear protection. Do you recall that?
Yeah,
Yeah? Where's that ear protection? Why did you wear ear protection?
because I don't like, I'm autistic, so
Okay.
I don't like loud noises.
Okay. What else are you diagnosed with? You just mentioned right now that you're
Lots of
autistic.
stuff.
Like what? Can you tell me?
I mean, I'm just on the spectrum. They call it, you know, they just say, like, you're on the spectrum. I'm just not good with people. I'm antisocial.
Okay.
So they say Asperger's a lot.
Okay. What else? Asperger's?
Just antisocial behavior. I used to take, like, ADHD medicine
Okay.
a long time ago.
How long have you been off of medication?
It was just when I was little. So I mean, it's not relevant. It was just when I was little. I took ADHD. I didn't like it, so I refused to take it.
Okay. But how long have you... So you're on no medication right now? You are?
No medication.
No medication.
As the questioning concludes, he asks detectives a final question that reveals just how little he understands the consequences of his actions.
Patrick, is there anything else that maybe we didn't cover or you would like to say?
No. If I just say I'm guilty, can I just skip the trial? Or no? I mean, I am guilty.
That's through the courts. But is there anything else you would like to say? No?
Will my parents be allowed in the trial?
I'm sure.
23 people were killed in an attack he planned and justified. Years later, the case reached its final chapter in court. At the request of many victims' families, prosecutors did not seek the death penalty. Instead, Patrick Crusius received 90 federal life sentences, plus 23 additional state life terms. He will die in prison. Do you believe that was the right decision?